Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Doug. It's Brad Capas.
Hey, Brad. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Well, good. Hey, thank you so much for calling in. Tell us where you're from and who you work for.
Well, it's Brad Capas here. I work with Cushman & Wakefield in their Fort Lauderdale office and specialize in multifamily investment sales or brokerage.
Well, how long have you been in it? And tell me a lot about Cushman & Wakefield. What kind of firm is it? How large? Where are they located? Etc.
Sure. Well, Cushman is actually a global firm. They have offices all over the country. They're one of the world's largest privately held real estate services firms. They handle all types of real estate services, ranging from brokerage to leasing to management. And in the States here, they're headquartered in New York. And in Florida, we have 4 main offices. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. We have an office in Miami, also in Orlando and Tampa. And then we have satellite offices in Jacksonville and Fort Myers. And we handle all real estate services out of all of those offices. And I'm in the multifamily group, specializing in the sale and brokerage of large multifamily properties, typically rental apartments, large condominium properties, and also residential land. And within our group, there are 6 or 7 brokers in Florida, plus a full support staff.
Tell us about the multifamily market in your area right now.
Well, it's exciting for the first time in a few years. I mean, we've all been going through this economic recession, but we've been fortunate lately, in particular in the multifamily market, to be among the favored investment groups for a number of reasons. But first and foremost, the rental apartment market here in southeast Florida, as well as much of the state, is performing much better than it had been some years past. Occupancies are very high, particularly down here, Dade and Broward County, probably in the mid to high 90s in terms of occupancy. Palm Beach is a little lower, but still north of 90%. And rents are beginning to grow, and it's really the first time in a number of years we've actually seen real year-over-year rent growth in rental apartments, and the prognosis is good. Most of the published reports out there are showing some rent growth for the next 3 or 4 years, and some of those reports are projecting multi-year rent growth 5 to 6%. So that's attracting tons of investment capital that had for several years been afraid of South Florida, mainly because of some of the overbuilding in the housing market.
Right, the condos, sure.
Yeah, but the investment market now is almost without exception focused on South Florida. So that's got us pretty busy.
I would say. And from my understanding, hedge funds had raised a whole bunch of money and kind of sat on the sidelines for several years, and now it's almost time that the length of their fund is over. So I'm going to guess that they're going to be running out and looking for deals like you have.
Yeah, many of those hedge funds had very high internal rate of return requirements. They were looking for steals, and to a great extent, that those real opportunistic buys just were not available in the market.
Mm-hmm.
In many cases, lenders who most anticipated would just wholesale and dump properties were a little bit more strategic in their monitoring or in the handling of some of the assets they took control of. And as a result, a lot of that hedge fund capital never got deployed. And to the extent it's still out there, they are modifying their investment criteria and focused. They still want to be here, but they're accepting lower yields, so they're paying a little bit higher prices. And they've sort of expanded their horizons to include more conventional real estate acquisitions.
Very, very good. Now, what are a couple of the listings that you have or what are available in the Florida area that you might want to talk about to get some people who are interested to give you a call and contact you? Because as you know, the listener base for the show is is number one, investors, real estate agents, real estate media, banks, government officials, auctioneers. Do you have a couple of things you want to kind of highlight so that we can get people to give you a buzz?
Well, sure. The good news and maybe the bad news for this show is a number of the properties that we actually have listings on are under contract, off the market at the moment. So we're excited about that, and that's a good sign for us. We do have a new land listing, a residential land listing in downtown West Palm Beach that we will be launching soon. And that property was originally contemplated as a residential site. It can accommodate, at least at the original approvals, for a little over 150 units that would be in a mid-rise configuration. And that can also accommodate office. We think it's a pretty good medical office site. And it's a little north of the downtown CBD on the Flagler Drive corridor. And then we are looking on behalf of clients. We just don't have them formally available yet at a number of residential sites that will accommodate traditional rental apartment properties, and also several rental apartment properties of different class categories, ranging from Miami all the way up through St. Lucie County, and those are not quite yet available to be marketed. The owners haven't made a sell or hold decision yet, but they're on the horizon. So, but we can certainly, any guests who have questions, we can certainly help them get acclimated with the market. Of course, our inventory changes daily, and my counterparts in the other major markets in Florida always have product available as well, and we can direct your folks to those professionals or to our website, which has all of our formal listings on it.
Well, I keep on getting emails of new listings and new sales from you and your partner, Rosendo Cavero. So you guys are doing good. Before I forget, give us your contact information. How can people reach you?
Yeah, my office telephone number is 954-377-0505, and I'm always available by email as well. My name is Brad, or the email address is brad.capas, C-A-P as in Paul, A-S, at cushwake.com, cushwake.com.
Very nice. Now, before I let you go, there was a thing called fractured condo developments, and number one, maybe you can explain that term and let us know, are those deals gone now, or because I know you were involved in several of them?
Yeah, they're not gone. There are fewer of them available than there were, but in essence, many people are familiar with the term condo conversion. Rental apartment properties were bought by investors who converted them to condos and sold the units out individually. In some cases, that process did not get completed, so a portion of the units were unsold and are now being operated as rentals. So we call that a fractured condo conversion. And in the same sense, a new condo development that only got partially sold, and the developer was left with a block of units that didn't sell because of the market conditions. Those unsold units are also referred to as fractured condos. In recent years, we've been marketing those properties, those units in bulk to investors, and they've become very popular. There's a very broad. It took the market a couple of years to really get to understand that animal, how to invest in it safely, and what the exit strategy was. The investment community really has embraced the concept now, and we were actually in the market with one now in Pompano Beach, and I guess I misspoke. That is not technically under contract at the moment, but we're getting close. It's called Breezes in Palm Air on Atlantic Avenue in Pompano Beach, and the investment community they understand them. They're operating. They're able to rent them profitably, and the exit strategy for the bulk investor is to sell the units off at some point in the future at a higher price than they might sell an otherwise similar rental apartment property on a per unit basis.
Is this a good time for an investor to jump in, or did he miss the boat, or does he need to wait another 6 months? And I know that's a crystal ball kind of thing, but you've been in business a long time. You've been through ups and downs. In fact, you and I have done some deals together. What do you suggest for an investor right now?
Well, I'm a real estate broker, so it's always a good time.
Of course.
But no, it is really a good time to buy rental apartments, in my opinion, today, because although rents are beginning to increase, they still have quite a ways to go to make up the ground they lost through the recession. So there's plenty of room for rent growth. So even if you bought a property today at that was stabilized and you didn't make any improvements to it, you just rode the tide up, you're probably over a several-year period. If published projections are correct, you're probably going to realize 10 to 12% rent growth over the next several years. Well, that's a good situation. We have a very limited pipeline of new development right now. That's going to change, but at the moment we have some barriers to entry to the market. So I really do believe it's a good time to invest. Plus, interest rates remain low, and you can get pretty attractive financing for rental apartment investments, which is not available in all other product types. So it's absolutely a good time to be looking. And no, the deals are not gone. It's not too late. I think it's a great time.
Brad, thank you so much again. You and your partner, Sandra Cavero, and I have done, I think, more than $60 million worth of auction deals together. I look forward to working with you again. Brad, thank you so much for your call. You have a great weekend.
Oh, the pleasure was mine. Thank you for having me.
Take care.